Okay, can YouTube hear me? Okay, can YouTube hear me? What is all that noise? What is all that
Jenny,
noise?
mute YouTube. Jenny, mute YouTube.
Okay, so sorry, we had a few mics open there. It's a song of my people. Okay, can YouTube hear me? Okay, great. Okay, can YouTube see me? Wow, that's a lot. Now. Okay, I don't know if I can stand staring at myself. That's horrible. So, okay, I do apologize for total delay here. I need to. YouTube just was not playing nice at all. So, can everyone can see and hear? Then that's great. Awesome. Okay. I really apologize. 20 minutes is an unacceptable delay, but we could not get this happening at all. So, to kick this off, I just want to say, firstly, this is an opportunity to get some clarity, ask some questions, share your stories. And I ask that everybody be respectful. We do have some door bitches, so any abuse, there'll be no timeouts. You'll just be removed. And what else did I want to say? I think that's it. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging in there. And again, apologize for the late start. So also ask your questions in all caps so that they don't get missed and get picked up. That would be very helpful. But I think the biggest confusion that I'm seeing, and I realize that everybody's got their own language, and I'm just using the language that makes sense to me, is this concept of pocket realms and the assumption that they're all bad. They're all a bad thing. I don't believe that to be the case at all. I believe that is the structure of the realms. There is a space where realms are created and placed. And these spaces where realm 3, 4, and 5 are allow for multiple realms in that space, and they're called pockets. Or at least that's what we're calling them. We have the ability, from what I understand, to create our own pockets. I have heard of people who are able to have a connection with those that they love who have passed, and their loved ones have even said to them, I've created a little pocket for us. You know, so they're not all bad. It's all about your intention, I guess, when creating these things. So if a pocket realm was created to create a loop for us to keep us in this thing, then that's obviously not a good intention. No. But are pocket realms in and of themselves necessarily a bad thing? I don't have that understanding at all. So I hope that clears something up. Does anybody have any questions around the pocket realm concept? Will I know a pocket realm that I did not create? I would imagine so. Is everything plasma? Are they manipulating subconscious? Is everything plasma? There has been references to plasma from home in regards to the way our consciousness communicates within and without this realm. And that the realm itself is plasmatic. That's about all that's been said from home on the subject. How to do it? I have no idea. How to create a pocket realm? I have no idea. And I don't know whether we, from here, have the ability to. I did have an experience myself in a doing that involved a pocket realm that I seem to have participated in creating before I even came here. And it was a very small little pocket, and it was designed to do that job at that time. And I didn't know anything about it until it was happening. Do you think that is the flower of life that they talk about? Do I think it's connected to pocket realms? I don't know. No idea. Is frequency a different? I guess they all operate on their own frequency range. No other questions on pocket realms? Sorry, the delay's making this difficult. I get that. Both. They're in the energetic and they're physical because they're in this space. Have they hijacked the Earth energy grid and ley lines? A long, long time ago, yes. Are any of us in them now? Not that I'm aware of. Is home hijacked? No, not that I'm aware of. I do believe the original home was infected along with everything else, but the cleanup that's been going on over the last couple of years has been part of the upgrade process. Do you know anything about memory being linked to the Earth and Sun's magnetic fields? Yeah, I think the magnetic fields is where our memories are held in a lot of ways. We do know that a change in magnetic frequency can alter memories. How to make your own. I don't think we need to go worrying about creating pocket realms. I think the whole point of what's happening right now is they're all being closed out and deleted. The ones that are in this space. I'm unclear. What is the definition of a pocket realm? Okay, let me try this. Where is it? Is this being seen yet? Are you seeing PowerPoint? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go with this one. Here is a realm, but inside this realm are many smaller realms. It's made up, you can just imagine a whole bunch of little bubbles in there that we would call pocket realms. And we're in one of them. It's my understanding that we were bumping up against a lot of other realms within here. And it was within here also that this recent pocket realm was being worked on and created in order to pull us into, because the one we're currently in was being closed. But this whole realm as a whole will eventually close. That a lot of the Mandela effects were the process of these other, we call them parallels or alternatives, whether it's timelines or realities or whatever, they were all being closed out. So we were feeling those Mandela effects. But this realm as a whole will close, as will this one. And the only thing that'll be left is that. Does that make sense? Is that clearer? Oops, what's going on? Where'd YouTube go? Seriously, where did YouTube go? Here we are. Can we just go home now? Yeah, yeah. Be nice. Oh, have you? Okay. What we were told would be the next thing to happen is stop doing that. It's going between screens. I want both. It's not giving me both. What are you sending me?
Some questions.
What's all the pictures?
I don't know. Pictures.
Pictures. Okay. So we were told the next thing that would happen is that the astral realm would close. And I'm beginning to see some potential evidence of that, actually. Which I can get to in a minute if you like. Symptoms are increasing to the extreme. I have extreme loss of appetite and weight loss, bad swelling in the feet and light blood in nasal mucus. Okay. How do they manipulate time? Don't know. I heard the awakened population has exceeded 50% towards ascension. Is this true? It certainly feels that way. It looks like the Schumann grid that has been deleted before is back again. I haven't looked at the Schumann in the last few days, so I couldn't say. Haven't looked. Okay. I think you're getting a mixed results with the QHHT. I think some people are going to potentially see this realm 3 that Lulu's created. Is one interpretation of it. It could be the same thing that Yellow Rose for Texas talks about, as in the West. But I'm not sure about that because it doesn't seem to be as potentially negative as that one. So I'm not sure if it's the same thing. What else? Letter that we're supposed to be receiving from home. I don't know anything about a letter. If you're referring to an announcement, yeah, we're still expecting one. Can I explain more about the astral realm? What it sounds like is the astral realm is our first stop when we leave this realm on our way home. What we were told was that many people who leave here choose to stay in the astral in order to stay close to us and wait for their loved ones to come and join them there. And then together they can move on. But the astral realm was also infected and a lot of pocket realms were created in there. And that's also where the white light for reincarnation was introduced. So that's where the rinse and repeat cycle went. So most people never got beyond the astral or 4. You had to avoid the white light, I guess. I'm referring to astral and 4D as the same thing. Does it mean we won't astral travel when we go to sleep? It depends on what your definition of astral means. I mean, if you mean by astral travel simply traveling outside the body, sure. The moon's been done. There's a lot of cleanup that's happened on the moon. Yep. Is it the astral plane that feels like chaos and hell-like? Yeah, in my experience, yeah. Any info on why people are experiencing time glitches? To me, they seem to be very, very personal. And there's a lot of things going on there. One is your own vibration. It's like you've got your own personal journey to travel. And when your vibration is good and high, time speeds up and you travel that journey quicker. When you're down and low, you go slower on that journey. And there are certain things that allow us, depending on how we handle a situation or react or respond, to potentially jump forward. Does that make sense? Skip a few things. The cryptocurrency stuff. To me, that is a path that does not lead to home. Why do we seem to be aging faster? From what I understand, it's because most of our consciousness, most of our life force and energy has actually already transferred out of here. Anything from 70% and more. So there's just enough of us here to keep the avatar running and get the job done. So the other controversial conversation is around AI. Have you heard anything lately about overlays being introduced? No. How do we keep our vibrations high? Stay in your heart. And what I'm about to say is probably going to piss people off, but anyway. It seems like, to me, the woke, some people in the woke community have recognized religion for what it is, the controlling program that it is, and have gone so far the other way that they've come full circle and created a religion of their own, including a devil that's out to get you. And AI is the new devil, and it's everywhere, and it's going to control you and tempt you and ruin your life. I can honestly say that the only time I know I've been in contact with an AI, for sure, personal experience, is if I'm using Siri on my computer or on my phone, or I've called up and I've got some AI on a phone line. And I don't know whether anybody can say any different. If you're going to go on your own personal direct experience, there's so much fear around it. It's almost zealous, like a fundamental religious zealotry around AI. And I'm not saying it's a good thing, because I have no idea. I've got no direct personal experience with it that I can say for sure, other than what I mentioned. I don't know any more about the Earth energy grid to talk about it. The new age of duality, is it bunk? Do you feel there is a clear line in the sand now? There are many clear lines in the sand at the moment. Any new word from Lilu? Last I heard from Lilu, she was involved in deleting the pocket realms and those who created the minds, the memories of those who participated in that. Is AI a little exaggerated in order to promote fear? Well, it seems to be the outcome. So there's a really good chance it's part of the intention. Will the fake people bots be with us until the end? Yeah, I believe so. What's my favourite book of all time? No, I don't know. Yes, seems every good step forward gets met with a fight to try and stop us. It certainly does. Sorry. Well, Lisa, what was the reason why the codes were rewritten instead of being deleted? I'm not sure what codes you're referring to on that one. Isn't the true AI telepathic and simply a communication between us and home? Again, it's all about terminology. I mean, if we're going to use computer terminology, then there is, I do think the construct itself or the realm itself has a consciousness. Now, if we're going to talk about that in computer tech, you could potentially call that an AI that runs the construct. It's all about terminology. I mean, if we're going to use computer terminology, then there is. Okay. Thank you. Okay. What percentage are we at in this last wave? I'm not sure. Percentage of what? Will there still be an event as such? I think so. Yep. We've been given a number of scenarios. And again, it seems to be a very individual inside job. Anything from feeling like you're falling backwards for 12 hours to just simply going to sleep and waking up at home. There's a lot of work being done to make this as smooth as possible, as peaceful as possible. Is it true that the bots need chemtrails and vaccines in order to function? Yeah, there was a few things around that. One was the vaccines were actually for the bots, which is why they're so heavily laden with metals and mercury. But a dual purpose is that they, when given to a heart source being, will actually shut them down and connect them to the hive mind of that collective. I have heard recently that autistic symptoms in some children have virtually disappeared very recently, that they're overcoming them. Can I elaborate any more on the vagus nerve? Only that it seemed to be, because it's so central, and it did show up visually in a doing as the source of where the virus sits in the body. And because via that nervous system, you can affect the whole body and emotions, mental and emotional bodies as well. And a lot of the clearing that we're doing on a physical level is also related to that whole system cleaning itself up. Are we winning? Yeah, we seem to be. Oh, just jumped. Hang on. Oh, shit. Hang on. Are we winning? Yeah, okay, got it. Is the reincarnation program deleted? Yes, to my knowledge. Do you identify with a race or system? Yeah, a couple. Has Jupiter come up for you lately? Seems to be a recurring theme recently for me. It hasn't come up for me lately, no. Why are we getting massive headaches? Multiple reasons. Sometimes they're for positive reasons, which is because there is a consciousness transfer happening. Sometimes they're for negative reasons, which is there's an interference in that consciousness transfer, or you're trying to be pulled somewhere else. But it does seem to be connected a lot at the moment with transfer of consciousness to where you're wanting to go, whether it's home or realm 3 or whatever. What happened to the beings from home that came here and had trouble adjusting? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What's my star sign, Lise? It's Leo. I don't know when we're going to see the final merge. Been having dreams of many ships in the sky lately. Yeah, a lot of people have. Any more info on 3ZB? No. Any new timelines given for stuff to happen? No, only that 2019 is the last year, I think. It all goes down, or by the end of 2020. But I feel that a lot of people are going to be going home before the end of this year, and are going home. Cause of toothaches, the same as migraines and headaches. Our teeth and bones hold a lot of very deep programming, as well as all the metals in the environment. So doing what you can to draw that stuff out of your teeth is very beneficial. Are chakras implants? Yeah, I think they might be. There's a lot of vibrating going on. Are any others experiencing your subtle body being pulled through the crown chakra or out of sync with the physical body? Yes, I'm hearing that a lot. Pets go to. Oh, the burning up. That's interesting, isn't it? And the heat flushes, and then sometimes chills, and then heat flushes again. yeah, it just feels like a burn off. Yeah, like I said, pets go too. But I'm answering them, aren't I? Vibration huge, purging bone aches and burning out hot spots in the body this week. Yep. Vertigo. Yeah, that's another common one. I noticed energy rain in the sky. I'm someone who doesn't do hospitals. I don't do pharmaceuticals. I don't do doctors. And in the last 2 years, I've been in the ER 5 times. A lot's happening in dream state right now, and one of them, we're back, now that this interference is dealt with, we're back to sorting through our memories, but this time it's on a much larger scale. We are actually processing, filtering the memories of the construct as a whole. So there'll be dreams of past lives, there'll be dreams of stories that potentially aren't even yours, that you're processing on behalf of. It's the history of the construct itself that seems to be right now being sorted and collated, and files are being stored or deleted or discarded or whatever. Is it still possible for this to be programming mind control from the powers that be here? What, this whole idea that of this is finishing? I don't think so. I think too many people for too long have known this. Too many people have come into this place knowing this as children. Some people have known for as long as they can remember. When they were 2 and 3 and 4 years old, saying, I don't want to be here, I want to go home, let me go home. Or this, I came here to do a particular job, and that particular job is about ending this. So I don't think so. I agree with you. A lot is going to happen in the next few months. And it started just after Easter in a positive way. And it is going to be chaotic. You can't, clean this place up without seeing the trash. And all will be revealed. Light will be shone in all the dark places. It doesn't mean it's new. It means it's always been there for me, and we're just starting to see it and clean it up. Do any leaders of countries know about this? I do believe they do, yes. Yeah, the anxiety's been big, but it's not necessarily yours. We are becoming, not becoming, we're getting back to being a collective in a positive way. The human collective being able to feel each other. So a lot more people now are starting to feel into the collective, and the collective as a whole is a bit anxious because we know what's going on and we know what's coming. And there's also, there is sadness in all of this too that you can tap into at times. I'm not real sure why that is or where that's coming from, but it does seem to be there. It looks like and feels like everyone right now, no matter who or what they are, is being activated. So, or triggered, whatever word you want to use. So if you're a heart source being who's heading for home, you're being activated in a really positive way, you're waking up really quickly, you're coming online, your gifts are coming online. If you're a bot, it's as if the button was pushed and you've now been activated to run a certain program. If for those who are heavily infected, all of that stuff is coming up as well. It's like, it's got to come out, up and out. There is, in my opinion, nothing to be frightened of. But that doesn't mean you bury your head in the sand and be ignorant of it. Should I retire now and enjoy my life? You should do whatever your heart's telling you to do. We ain't going nowhere. Jesus is coming to take back this world. He can have it. It's just jumped, sorry. Our body's here just now, just a projection of how we are in our state at home and higher self. They're not exactly the same, no, if that's what you mean. Yes, will we join people that are already passed on? Everyone I know is gaining weight. Any connection? Nope. Don't know. Yeah, sorry, that's birds in the background. Source has stepped in. Will Source step in on any of this? Yes, already has. Does Home say we have other avatars in stasis there? Yes. I did talk about this on the recent DTCs. Going back a few years, but even before 2016 with Lulu's introduction, there were visions of rooms with all of these beds in them, but there was very few people in them. And it wasn't these bodies. They look different. But now, tuning into those places, the rooms are full. Part of this process that we're going through is soul memory, a soul's memory of all of our experiences being integrated. So trust that, trust you as to where you're going. I have no idea if there is a priority list of who gets to be transferred first. I think it's a personal, I think it's up to you. It's a personal choice, a personal decision. There does seem to be, and I did talk about it in DTCs, the number of deaths is escalating rapidly for a variety of reasons and in a variety of ways. And some of that, yeah, is people going home, for sure, by their choice. Is it ahead of their schedule? I have no idea. I've already answered most of it. How many groups are here to help us currently, and how much are they helping? There was a reference to clans, hundreds of them, 400 and something, I think, clans that came in. And yeah, I guess if they've been able to remember why they came, and then they're on the job. If everything has a computer code, why was it decided to rewrite them instead of deleting them in July, August of 2018 and deleting the capital E at the end of each code? Thanks. It was identified that the E on the end of the codes was a looping code. It brought it back to the beginning and just got the code to replay and repeat itself. There was an attempt very early on in 2016 to delete that E at the end of the codes, but it couldn't be. July, that was the end of the 7th wave. And I can't remember what, if you're talking about something specific, I can't remember. Yes, suicides are on the rise, not just with males, which are normally the biggest group. It's also increased with females. Are bots likely to be in tune to shows like this? Show signs of ascension? Yes. Seeds planted in people of power, are they squashing their dark part? Some, and some are just being fully activated. I'm seeing colours, auras that I used to not be able to see, connection to any specific reason, just that you're waking up, you're coming online. Are those staying longer still the cleanup crew? Yeah, I believe so. Why can't the bots be deleted? Also, I think they'll just go with the construct itself. What are the little specks of light floating in the sky? I don't know. Remembering things that you've not thought about in decades, part of your memory processing. What do you want to keep? What do you need to take with you? Right, it's 11:11. Did it just stop? Oh, here we go. What is things look like hole or tunnel that's sucking energy in at speed in sky? Don't know. Wait, I don't know. Is the increase in ghosts people from home? Over what time period? And yes, there has been some interactions with home. Am I expecting word from Lulu or the council anytime soon? Yes. Any word on what our real bodies look like? Well, apparently mine's covered in tattoos. So that's all I know. The last few nights. Ah, interesting. Okay. That could be, because I suspect, although I've had no confirmation, but I suspect that the closeout of the Astral has begun. So these could be people who have been near to you, who are just sort of saying hi on the way home, or because they're potentially freaking out and don't know where to go. I don't know. But there has been an increase, if you're talking about that, just in the last week. Lisa, is karma still real? I think karma was bullshit from the get-go. Construct program to get you to own everything. Yeah, personal Mandela's happening, losing things, days later finding them and exactly where they should be and where you looked. Personal time jump. Did Lulu make herself a body? She is physical. Did home already merge with that new universe that came in? I don't know anything about a new universe coming in. I know home upgraded. You can actually tune into that aspect of yourself at home now a lot easier. We were sold, I think we were sold karma, yes, as part of the rinse and repeat cycle to justify it. Well, I was told that red wine cleanses the blood. But, you know, don't do anything to excess. Keep seeing a blue body. Yeah, I've seen a few blue beings too. So I guess you're one of them. I don't know what they are. A number synchronicities, our coding, crazy lately. I only have them with the 8s and now 9s. And the 8s are a warning for me that there's looping cycles, resets, that sort of thing. But since that other pocket was closed, now it's 9s. So I feel like we've moved past that. What's happening with the sun? Something is definitely going on and we are not being told. Do you know? I think it was WSO who did a video months ago that was really good on the sun, and he showed how going back years, I think he went back as far as 2011, looking at all the cameras, you'll see that the sun has dimmed significantly over the years. And I do think it is going out. And I think every country's got the patent for a sun simulator. So they seem to be trying to cover up for that all over the world. And it is dying, is what I was told. Your star is dying. If no reincarnation, why are children still being born? Because every baby from home that comes in here right now is adding to the frequency. It's adding to that energy and raising it. And the construct itself is still able to produce, mass produce bots. Is there a connection with blood types in all this? I don't know about that. If one is connected to the hive mind, how can one connect to the true self? Your heart, your center, your heart core is, you got to go in to go out. Connect to that. if we are female here, are we female at home? I can't say definitively, because we have been through this rinse and repeat cycle so many times and played both, that who knows whether this is matching up with the home one. Are we moving into light bodies or a biological life form, body form? Home and realm 3 are physical. Is there a way to energetically opt out of agendas in collective reality, like mandatory vaccines? Energetically opt out. Yes, I would think so. I don't know whether we're by Jupiter. I don't know anything about that. What do you think about the possibility that the RH negs have their original DNA template? I think that's probably likely. Originally, the numbers were 11% human worldwide. Since then, have you learned any different? No, it hasn't come up again. So there's been no other numbers thrown around. Is it more difficult to stay in the heart if heavily infected? Yeah, it makes the job harder, but you can still do it. Just keep asking every time you feel triggered, every time you are sure about something. Really ask yourself, is this my belief? Is this a program? Or is this a knowing? It feels like we are in the final push for everything. There is a sense that this construct and the powers that were and the virus and whatever ways and names you want to explain it are in their death throes, and that makes anything dangerous. But again, there's nothing to fear. This is a done deal as far as I'm concerned. Your weapons are your heart, your humor, and your unpredictability. And we have done this before. I don't know why we're doing it again exactly, but the outcome is known. Have I heard of anyone having their RH change? No. What if we experience no ringing in the ears? I feel the emotional purge, though. Everyone's going to do this in their own way. Everyone's got their own faculties coming online in different order. So I wouldn't stress about it, because honestly. Sometimes it's unpleasant. Why do the elites trying to go to the moon now? Are they? Oh, that won't work out for them. A source of tangible existence like home. Does source enable, provide power for home? Source is non-physical, as far as I know. It's peaceful. It's a resting place for the soul. It's unconditional love, but non-physical. And I guess potentially is the power source for everything that comes after that. It can also be boring. And that's why we choose to have physical experiences. How toxic is the I Am program? I think that all depends on what you're going to attribute it to, what it means to you. Oh, that just jumped. Hope this is the last go around. I never want to do this again. Yeah, that's the general consensus. Why did Lilu create Realm 3 when we can rest at home? Because not everybody was ready. And I think okay, I'll use Rose's language, Yellow Rose for Texas language in this because it's easier. She talks about the East and West Gate. I think more people would have ended up in the West that could go home if they just had more time. So it's creating a landing pad and a more positive environment to do more healing, get more cleaned up before going home. The protection on home now is the security, you could say, with the upgrade, is that there's no virus getting in. So if people just need a little bit more healing, that to me is what it's for. It's a temporary stop. And there's a filtering system. When we leave here, we will be going through a series of filters, and these filters have been seen. And it's a suspicion of mine at the moment that that's part of what Lilu's poem was all about, with the different colours. There's a filtering system, and you have to get past through a filter to head towards home. And if you just can't get through it, then you go to the Realm 3 at any point along the way. Is that easy? Does that make sense? I heard the elites are trapped here now and cannot leave. Yeah, I believe that's the case too. Is Home still adamant that this realm closes by 2020? Well, I haven't heard anything different. Yes. Where is it saying that? Yeah, they're not tests to see if you're worthy or any of that shit. It's just a filtering system. From what other beings are there at home? Well, from what I understand, all of creation is essentially changing. It is so much bigger than just this realm. And everybody was separated into their own little pockets before. And for the first time, it's all coming together at home. And everyone's going to be there. And that we will all start what they call the next book of life together. Yes, all those races. So if elites are trapped here and making it harder for us, how or what do we do if targeted? The only thing I can suggest is the same three things. Stay in your heart, use your humour, and be unpredictable. What is my understanding of why so-called 3D has been allowed to continue for so long? Because the only understanding I have around that is that to have finished it any earlier or just wiped it or deleted it or whatever meant we went with it. The only option would have been to wipe the soul memories, wipe the minds of everybody here. And that would have been too big a loss. So we were given more time and potentially have done this several times in order to ensure that as many people as possible go home whole. What's the deal with the twin flame craziness? In what way, craziness? Do you roll your cigarettes? Yes, I do. If we have an avatar at home, what will it be like to drop the body here? It could be as simple as going to sleep here and waking up there. Oh, is the twin flame thing real or pushed? I don't use the term twin flame myself, but I do believe that there are power couples who, when together, activate each other. And it doesn't have to be lovers either. It can be a parent and a child. It can be friends. But when two people have a job to do together and they've come here with that job in mind, and when they connect, all kinds of things can go down in order to pull them apart again. So I think of it more in those terms. Is Lulu's new realm a place where virus-infected humans can heal without attacking each other? Yeah, nice way to look at it. A heart palpitation is common right now. Yes. What's home like now? Don't know. Haven't tuned into that for a while. Been busy cleaning up other places. I've experienced the last few years 90% of my family and close friends separating and relationships being pulled apart. Is this part of this? Yes, it is. Often because as people are waking up, they realise they're not really with the person they're meant to be with. They can't grow together. That's a big one. And people seem to be getting themselves in place. There's movement. And sometimes that means moving away from relationships as well. What you describe about power couple explains my boyfriend and me perfectly. We came to activate each other and do the work. Oh, cool. And Michelle, I'm sure you've got a story to tell. I think half of our family are bots. A lot of people have said that. Does it make sense some of the population came in only one time and not rinse and repeat? Yes, absolutely. There has been a huge influx from home of people who have never been here before who have come to do this. Are power couples targeted more than others, meaning trying to break them up? Yes. For that very reason, because you are powerful together. Is it possible to have our partner waiting for us in this home world? I keep seeing this male face kissing a woman. Yes. How do empaths protect themselves? Yeah, that's a big one. And it's getting harder as we are getting more and more connected to the collective. But just constantly trying to check in with yourself and is this mine or is this the collective? Is this mine or somebody else's? And then if it isn't yours, just try to be neutral about it. And you can put your shields up. Will people's belief systems keep them from going home? Only to a point. We are breaking those belief systems and programs as we go. That's part of that filtering process that I talked about too. I think the worst case scenario is you end up in realm 3 for a while, but no one's getting left behind. Exactly. There's not going to be anything to be left behind in, as far as I understand it. People don't look up. That's true. What is the deal with the white light? Depending on what white light you're referring to. There is a false light. There is a false white light that is was part of the whole reincarnation, rinse and repeat cycle thing. I think there's also a false white light that's part of the 5D Ascension program. So there's a few of them going around. Yeah, there is a lot of collective depression at the moment and confusion. And so when you're feeling into that, it can be difficult. What happens to the bots? Just curious. As well, as far as I know, if they're just pure bot, pure program, part of the construct itself, they go when the construct goes. Can a human have a child with a bot? Yes. What does that make the child? Half human, half bot? I don't know. Part of that rinse and repeat cycle, I believe, was fractalizing us as well. And you could say that it's like soul fragments were put into bots. And I'm not sure what's going on with them. Sometimes it feels like when those, because there was a reference to half souls, they were half souls. But if they are a fragment of or an aspect of a soul, I think that you get that back. I think. Have I seen the 6D White Room? Don't know. I couldn't say for sure whether where that White Room was that I was seeing back in 2016. Love Your Cat Tower. Yeah, that's a masterpiece, that thing. Lisa, are you going to be on here more now? Well, this has been pleasant, so perhaps. What's the fine grey mist? I don't know, but I know a lot of people have seen it. And the soft white haze around everything now. Same, not sure. What or where happens to the elite, to the virus? Too heavily infected or, completely dark, those guys, as far as I know, are being wiped and returned to source. What's the most beneficial practice to use each day? Go into your heart. How does one retrieve all parts of their soul if someone else is in their heart space? How does one retrieve all parts of their soul if someone else is in their heart space? I'm not sure I understand that question. Have you any knowledge on regressed genetics? Do we need to clear out our implants? I believe a lot of them are just being deactivated and becoming dormant anyway, implant stuff. Nothing on regressed genetics. I just pray fervently all day. My friends and I saw a black portal opening up in the sky. What is that? Yeah, don't know. Yeah, that would actually, what it was would depend on when it was. I hear that chemtrails have no effect on us and cannot harm us any longer. Yeah, I do think that all of that nano stuff is becoming ineffective. Infected, what does it mean? How do you explain it? We're living in a virus soup. So it's touched us all. Yeah. But being in your heart is honestly the easiest way to overcome it. How does one retrieve all parts of their soul if someone else's cords are in their heart space? We'll disconnect the cords, cut the cords if they're negative cords. But there's nothing stopping you from being able to get into your own heart and set the intent to retrieve your own aspects. And then be careful what you ask for, because integration is messy. Lisa, I met God. Which one? The biblical one? You think YouTube pushing flat earth was intended to take people away from this? It seems they really pushed it. Well, if that's the case, it didn't work for me because it led me to this. Hello, Zero. Good to see you. Are you still practicing the overhead figure eight meditation? No, I haven't done it in ages. Thanks for the reminder. Is there something happening on the 9th? Okay, I can see that one. On September 23rd. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that lately. Lisa, who are walk-ins? In the past, I think walk-ins were predominantly coming from the astral. And now, though, as part of this huge influx of people from home, they've chosen different options and different ways to come in. And that includes walk-ins. For those who didn't want to go through the birthing process, it also allowed for you to be able to come in here under the radar prior to 2012. Home and source, no, not the same thing. Home is the first realm outside of source. and physical, a physical experience. Source is not, but still individual. Like you still have your own individual consciousness, soul, but not physical form. That's how I understand it anyway. Any particular reason mainstream is reminding us of the earlier mid-90s news? I haven't noticed that. Why are they pushing the MMR vaccine? What's their intent and what's in their shots? Activate the bots and close down the humans. Where is Lulu? Her body. As far as I know, home. And she's also been outside of home and I don't know where. And no, she's not alone. Okay. Do I have an opinion on white light? It's not other than what I've already said. No, I would. No, would Lily be considered our divine mother? No. Have I had contact with an ET in the physical? I've been suspicious of a few people potentially, but no. Lulu is physical. What does it mean if your entire family and friends are now bots? It means you need some new friends. Okay. All right. Well, I know we started late, but we've been at this for nearly just over an hour and a half. So is there any more questions? We'll wind this up. Can false memory be used to lessen your energy? If you allow it to affect your frequency, if you allow it to affect your energy. Your perspective on Trump aiding or abetting, thanks. Oh, any mention of him is going to trigger Trump derangement syndrome. I think Trump probably for the most part is the figurehead, like so many of them have been. But I do feel that he has the good guys on his team, for sure. He also seems to have been set up specifically to act as an activator or trigger, because very few people can be neutral about the guy. And because he has activated this Trump derangement syndrome in some people. And they cannot handle it unless you despise him. So yeah, anyway. I thought to go to source is ultimate desired place to go. Tell me more. Not necessarily. It's a place where you can rest. I mean, source is the nothing and the everything. But for those who still want the physical experience, it's not the place to be. And apparently you don't stay there. You go there to rest and then you go out and have another experience. But it's not mandatory and it's your choice. Are all humans from the same home realm? Kind of a tricky question language-wise. If the home that I say like is the first one from source, then I would say yes. And from there, you move into all of these other little realms and pockets and whatever, and they seem to be species specific, and you could probably consider those a home realm of a species, but ultimately it would go back to the home I'm referring to, if that makes sense. What exactly is a bot? It's the same thing people now use NPCs as a term for. When you're playing a video game, there are characters in that game who are part of the game. They are not being controlled by another player. They're part of or what Dolores Cannon called the backdrop people. Same thing. How do you know who's a bot? An inability to make a genuine heart connection, potentially. But so can humans who have just really lost touch with their heart. It's hard to make a genuine heart connection there too. Any way to discover our true purpose or job here? I thought I would know by now. Thanks. Some are here to hold space, and some are here to witness. And sometimes you don't even realize you're doing the job that you're doing. Some are here to collect the stories and the data. I've been told that Lulu was one of the first receivers, and a receiver is, there's a few receivers, and they have the ability to communicate with each other in a way that is, I don't know, they're just more connected to each other and can communicate with each other outside of the realms. So from what I understand, Lulu was the receiver that stayed at that end of things, at the home end, and other receivers came in here and they were all able to communicate and coordinate from within and without. As far as advice goes, it's always the same. Stay in your heart. Ask yourself questions. Question when you know you're being triggered. Question when you know, is it a program? Is it a belief? Is this really mine? If we go on the premise that everything we've been told is a lie, and there's a really good chance that's the case, then it's just constantly about questioning yourself. A lot of the narcissists, yes, are, I think. That seems to be the program. But when the virus infects someone and gets, you know, inflamed, that's the kind of behavior that comes out. Do I think there are clones here with the walk-ins? I don't think the two are connected. All right, guys, I'm going to say thank you. The questions have been cool. And given me a few things to think about too. Is our only choice our reaction? It's not your only choice, but it's certainly one to be in control of. You can find out who is a bot by wearing a MAGA hat. No, thank you guys. We're all in this together. Okay. Yeah, we might do this again soon. We'll see. Thanks again. Enjoy your day or night, whatever it is. And bye for now. Thank you.